Well, sunshine is a wonderful thing, but melanoma is not, and it is one of the most common cancers in young people. People between 15 and 29, with over 6,800 cases in Canada this year. It's also the most aggressive skin cancer if not caught early. Joining us today is the founder and chair of the board of the Melanoma Network of Canada and a 3-time survivor, Annette. Welcome to What She Said.
Thank you so much.
Now, a 3-time survivor, I've got to start there. Tell us what happened.
Well, I back in 2001, I had couldn't even see it actually. It was a small mole. It was on the bottom of my ankle. And I actually waited about a year to actually have it go and have it checked out, and went to see my doctor, referred me to a derm, and the derm said it doesn't look like anything, but when they took it out, it ended up being confirmed as melanoma. Fortunately, it was felt to be caught early at that point in time, but it ended up, there was a 97% chance it wouldn't come back. I was in that 3%. So it ended up coming back about 6 years later, spreading up my leg, and then again in 2012. So it went through, tremendous amount of surgeries and scans and CTs and MRIs and all sorts of skin grafts. It was a nasty treatment, let me tell you.
Wow. And then, so now the prognosis now, how does it?
Well, I'm still a high risk patient. I'm at advanced stage, but fortunately I'm free of disease. I'm 5 years this month again. So we'll restart
We're all
that
knocking
clock.
on wood here.
No kidding.
Yeah.
I think it's really incumbent to create some awareness about this disease and how, who knew a small little mole, something so small could potentially take your life.
Okay, so I want to go there next because I know this. I know that a small mole can change your life, but I don't know what I'm looking for.
It's hard. I think, even our GPs, who we think are our frontline physicians, are not trained to spot it. And they're the ones that we think are the ones that are, looking at us naked when we're getting our annual checkup, right? They're supposed to know. Poor things. Yeah, believe me, I just was at my derm. But, it's difficult. But there is something on our website and on many websites, including CDA and such too, called the ABCDEs of melanoma. And it gives you some pictures of what to look for. So what is a normal mole, and then what to look for. So the A is asymmetry. So if the mole is not a nice circle and round, a normal mole looks round. One that's potentially of concern has different sides to it, and when you fold it in half, it wouldn't look the same. If it had irregular borders around it, like a scalloped edge, if the colors of that mole look different, sometimes they can be multicolored. Melanomas can have black, blue, brown, pink, red.
Is a mole always raised?
Oftentimes it is. Most often it is.
Okay. So that's the A, asymmetry. B, the border.
Right.
You discussed that.
Yep.
The ragged, uneven. So
Yes.
it should be a mirror image, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so C is for color.
Absolutely. So the different colors sometimes in the mole, and you can't always see it from a naked eye. So what needs to be happening is I'll go through the D is diameter as well, which is size. If it's larger than about 6 millimeters, which is about the end of a pencil eraser, then you should probably have it checked as well. But the one I think is most important is the E of those ABCDEs, which is the evolving and changing. Most often, people that have a problematic molar lesion have a change in it. It's either been there forever and now it's changing, it's growing, it's itching, it's oozing, it's bleeding. A lot of times people say, oh, gee, I nicked it in the shower, or it rubbed up against my bra strap or something, but that's your body also telling you that it needs to be checked out. And the best person to check that out is your dermatologist. And it's difficult to get into them, let me tell you. But do you
need a referral?
You do need a referral from your family physician. So if you can get into a derm, they'll oftentimes use what they call a dermatoscope, and which actually looks down into the mole itself to tell them if it's a potential melanoma. So that's really the definitive answer.
Okay, let's tackle sunscreen.
Yes.
I have a sister-in-law who feels that using sunscreen, she's putting more chemicals on her body than she's doing more worse for her than she's doing good, is what I'm trying to say. And I argue with her on this all the time.
You're not the only one. Honestly, quite honestly, it's a common urban myth out there. If you think about the products that we use on a daily basis, open up a can of soup and look at what the ingredient list is on that. Toothpaste, soap, and such. We don't know necessarily all of those ingredients, but all of those ingredients have to be approved by Health Canada, and Health Canada will not approve something that's going to be toxic to the body. So these are all given a drug identification number that can only be actually sold in a pharmacy. You'll never find them at a 7-Eleven. So all of these products have been tested, and the concentrations of the different types of ingredients that are in sunscreen are not found to be harmful to one's system. There's a lot of speculation out there, but that's a common thing. What's more dangerous is exposing yourself to levels of UV radiation on high concentration days like today, which the UV index, I bet you, is 7 or 8 at minimum today. And, although we've had a awful, cold, wet, rainy spring.
Here comes the sun.
Here's the sun. But we need to be out there enjoying that, and we need to
vitamin D.
But vitamin D is another one of those myths that we like to dispel a little bit. Your body, yes, does produce some vitamin D when there's exposure, but it shuts down within a few minutes of exposure outside. You cannot get sufficient levels of vitamin D from the sun, and it's a more dangerous way to do it, as well as getting premature wrinkles and aging and brown spots and nastiness.
I'm all about
over.
hats. I think hats should be just
well, looking at your coloring, I'm glad. I'm looking at that going, yes. But, vitamin D production, you're safer to get your vitamin D through a bottle. It's cheap. It's effective. In Canada, it's recommended 1,000 milligrams of vitamin D a day, and that's for just about everybody, children included. So always check with your doctor, but that's the recommendation.
So what should we be looking for when we choose a sunscreen?
Well, I think it's the first thing is the one you're going to wear. So you know what? If the fight is always on whether I'm going to wear this goopy, greasy sunscreen, there are so many great products out there today. Neutrogena, L'Oreal, all of them make wonderful products. They've lots of face ones that are really don't put a shine on, and a lot of the cosmetics now have a 30 SPF in it as well. But you want to look for a product that has a broad spectrum base to it, so it covers both UVA and UVB. Those are the two types of rays that hit us as human beings and on Earth. UVA is the rays that tend to penetrate deeper and cause what is considered to be genetic damage. So it alters the DNA and potentially leads to other skin cancers or melanoma. B is the burning rays, which we also have to protect. So I believe most of the sunscreens in Canada have both of those, but you want to make sure that that's the case. And you also want to make sure that you apply it consistently and reapply it after sweating.
Apply liberally.
Liberally. We don't use enough of it. So when you think an SPF is 30, if we don't put enough of it on, we're probably not getting that level of protection.
Okay, now let's talk about tanning beds.
Oh,
I
God.
tell my daughters there is no such thing as a base tan. No. Any tan, you've done damage to your skin.
Absolutely. You've heard the message. I'm glad to hear that. We were able to get the tanning beds banned for access for 18 and under back in, I think, 2011 now it is. But it's not healthy for anyone. The World Health Organization has pointed that out. Time and time again, physicians, all the medical communities in this country will tell you it is not healthy. It is absolutely not healthy. The rays in the UV radiation emitted in a tanning bed is 5 to 10 times stronger than midday sun. So you're going to get zapped with high dose radiation, and a simple exposure could create cancer down the road.
Okay, now MNC provides services, information programs for people and families whose lives have been changed by melanoma. Where can people go to find out more information?
Visit our website, melanomanetwork.ca. Give us a call. We have a 1-800 number. Take advantage of our programs. We have a national walk. We have a national camp program for prevention. We provide all sorts of support materials, information, meetings for patients right across the country.
That is amazing. And thank you so much for doing this and raising awareness.
My pleasure.
This is What She Said. Stay with us.